And Glenn Korn is now joining us here in the Cipher Brief studio. Glenn's joining us from Istanbul in Turkey. Glenn, I know that you've been following the developments on the story about first the pagers detonating, then it was walkie-talkies detonating. Israel hasn't come out and officially declared responsibility, but it's widely believed that this was an operation simply because of how intricate it was, how well planned it had to be, that was in fact carried out by Israel. So I just want to ask you, at this point, Hezbollah leader has called this a terrorist act and a declaration of war. I want to know from you, Glenn, what are the options here for Hezbollah in terms of a response that they can manage?
Right. Well, it's nice to see you, Suzanne. Hello, everybody from the Cipher Brief. Obviously, everyone's watching what's going on very closely. We've been doing that for a long time now. We've spoken about the fact that the Israelis are under increasing pressure to get their settlers back to the north. We're going on a year now that they've been evacuated. I think about 65,000 Israelis. And they've been warning for a while that they are going to do something. This operation, if it is the Israelis, which most people believe it was, it's a brilliant operation in many ways, technically. Politically, it remains to be seen what the fallout's going to be. And we could talk about maybe what some of the scenarios are. But what are Hezbollah's options? I mean, one, when Hassan Nasrallah says it's a terrorist act and a declaration of war, Israel and Hezbollah have been at war already for years. Hezbollah has been targeting Jewish targets and Israeli targets and U.S. targets for years. They have blood on their hands. So I'm not sure for the Israelis it makes a huge difference. They have a large arsenal of weaponry that they could launch at Israel. They could probably inflict a good deal of pain on Israel, damage. And of course, they my suspicion is they'll look for a terrorist target to go after, or a target that they can send a message to the Israelis that they're striking back. But we shouldn't forget also that it's my understanding the Israelis thwarted an attempt by Hezbollah to kill a former senior Israeli official just before this happened. So this war's been going on for a long time. And my own sense is the Israelis are just getting very tired of it. And there are a lot of people pushing in Tel Aviv to bring it to an end. And that's possible.
I want to get your sense, Glenn, of what are the possibilities of any kind of retaliation at this point from Lebanese Hezbollah. I mean, they're clearly backed by Iran, and Iran has so far not retaliated for threats that it said earlier, again, because of an assassination attempt a month or so ago. What are the options in terms of what they're able to do? It seems like this pager attack may have really caused complete chaos in terms of the organizational structure and how Hezbollah was communicating with each other.
Right. Well, I mean, they have a network worldwide that at one point was very effective, very disciplined. The Iranians invested a lot in developing that capability. So, you'd have to look at, if I were still in the intelligence community, I'd be looking worldwide for potential threats against Israeli or Jewish targets. You mentioned the Iranians. The Iranians may help them on the ground. Although my own assessment is Hezbollah is very capable of doing things on their own. But it is my understanding that what the Israelis have been doing, both with these two operations, if it was the Israelis, and some of the other operations like removing Fuad Shukr and other senior leaders from Hezbollah, has really shocked Hezbollah, and it's really undermining the morale of the organization and causing a lot of problems for the command and control of the organization. And my guess is that's exactly what the Israelis are trying to do.
Mm-hmm. And Glenn, let me ask you, in terms of the Hezbollah-Iran connection, just to go kind of one step further, what do you suspect is sort of happening in conversation between those two, between the leadership in Tehran and the leadership of Lebanese Hezbollah right now?
I think that probably there's a lot of discussions going back and forth on what the response should be. Hassan Nasrallah has been very calculating when he's responded to the Israelis in the past. I hate to call it tit for tat because it's not tit for tat. A lot of people have been killed over the years in the different terrorist strikes by the Israelis against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. Attacks by Hezbollah against the Israelis, including terrorist attacks against targets internationally. I think the most recent one I can remember was in Burgas in Bulgaria, where they killed a number of Israeli citizens with an attack on a bus. Um, I'm sure there's a discussion between Nasrallah and the Iranian the supreme leader on what they should do, what would be appropriate. My sense is, or my assessment is, the Iranians don't want a widening of the war. I don't think they need that right now, and I don't think they want that before the U.S. elections.
All right, Glenn Korn joining us from Istanbul, Turkey, former senior CIA official, and we're very proud to say Cipher Brief expert. Glenn, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for your insights today.